Welcome back to another episode of Stuck in the Middle. I'm your host, Sir Charles, aka Capo. You're now listening and watching to the Couch Talk here on SitM Podcast. Make sure you visit www.sitmpodcast.com to shop your exclusive merch. It's our 5-year anniversary. We got a lot coming up. I got a special guest with me in the building. But before we get into who she is, make sure you visit that website. Stay in tune to what we got going on. We have a lot of videos coming up. Flex has been here. Tutu baby, what's up? We got a lot of videos coming out. So just make sure you subscribe, comment, like, share with a friend, and shop that exclusive merch. But here, joining with me in the studio, I got Miss Taylour D in the building. Everyone give it up for Miss Taylour.
Yeah, you get to go by Sir Charles, but I get to put my full government.
You don't have a moniker. If you had a moniker, this would be a lot easier, Miss Taylour. What's going on, Miss Taylour?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good, It's the new year. This is my first Couch Talk. I'm happy for you to be my guest on this first Couch Talk to kick off the year.
Thank you for inviting me.
No, you're welcome. I've been watching your Instagram stories for a while. I've been telling you, you are freaking hilarious. No pressure. You know what I mean? But
now, if nobody laughs, then what?
Nobody laughs. It is what it is. I think you're funny. Okay, that's all that matters.
Thank you.
Hey. But go ahead and tell the people who you are, what you do, and everything we can about yourself.
My name's Taylour. I'm a regular girl, do a regular shit. That's really it. I get on Instagram and TikTok and just say things, and people tend to laugh. But other than that, I'm just a girl who goes to work every day, just 9 to 5.
You're a regular, schmegular girl.
And I barely do that. So, yeah. That's a bit.
No, thank you for coming on to the podcast. Some people be scared to come onto the podcast, but like I said, I've been watching your Instagram stories. I've known you personally for a while, for a couple of years. There was something that you brought up on one of your Instagram stories that I felt like, I had to make sure I get her on this podcast, which was dating.
Okay.
So what's up? Like, how's your dating life? How's that going?
It's non-existent. It's non-existent. Yeah.
Define non-existent.
Well, it's like it doesn't exist. Oh. It doesn't exist. I right now, currently, I don't date. I mean, it's not that I'm not. If somebody was like, "Hey, Taylor, you want to go on a date?" I would say yes, but I'm not actively dating. Maybe that's the best way to put it.
So you're not dating to pursue a relationship. You're just kind of dating to get whatever you can.
No, I don't go on dates.
So what do you do? So do you meet people?
I enjoy my own company.
So you hang out by yourself. You date Taylour.
Well, I'll put it like this. Sometimes I'm actively looking for men to let's see where this goes, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't put in that energy, and currently right now today, I am not putting any energy into a man.
Okay, so from what I hear, we're going to decipher that. Okay. So basically from what I hear is that when it comes to you dating, right, you have a selective process in who you, quote unquote, would consider that you're dating, or is it that, you're just kind of going with the flow, life is whatever you make it? When
I'm looking, okay. So sometimes I am like, let me get on the apps. Let me try. Let me put my best foot forward. And right now I'm just not doing that. Like, I'm not actively looking. Now, there has been plenty times where I'm out and about just living my life. And if somebody were to approach me, depending on that person, I may or may not be like, okay, sure, let's, see where this goes. But outside of that happening right now, yeah, I enjoy my own company. I put a lot of time and effort into my friendships right now. I get a lot of intimacy from literally just my friendships with people. So, and right now, that's what works.
Was there a certain action or instance or an event that happened to get you to this point?
Online dating is terrible. It's an awful experience. It's terrible. It's horrible out here. Have you ever been on an app?
No, I have not.
You've never been on an app?
No, I have not.
You've never made a profile?
I've been in a relationship for quite some time. So when apps first became a thing.
Well, it's a hellhole. It's a cesspool. It's terrible. It's honestly terrible. It's terrible that you can get lucky and meet nice people, but for the most part, it's like waiting in fucking Muddy waters. It's awful. Would not recommend.
Okay. Let's backtrack for a second. Let's backtrack. So, when did you make the decision to actively say, you know what, I'm getting rid of all these apps. I'm no longer quote unquote dating.
So I cycle through it. Like, I'll be on an app, and like for a couple months, I might talk to a guy or two, and then I'm over it, and I'll delete everything, and then 6 months later, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of bored, and so I'll try a different app, or really like so it like earlier this year is in 2022. So today's like the end of January, but earlier this month, I was like, let me give it a go. Downloaded, I want to say Hinge, and then I realized I hated it, so then I deleted it.
Is it the app themselves, or is it because of quote unquote what you've been able to match with?
It's the people. So like the apps, I mean, the app's just a platform, you use it, but it's the people. Like, a part of me is like, maybe I don't have a clear view of who I am, because the people who are matching with me, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Like, what would make you think that this would work out? And the people I am interested in, cricket. So I'm like, maybe something's wrong up here. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't have a clear view of what I should be looking for.
No, I feel that. No, because it's interesting that you say that, because it's like, for me, when I'm thinking about it, right, for the single people that are out there, right, when they are saying, okay, I'm trying to find somebody that's for me, well, how do you go about deciphering what quote unquote is for you and what isn't for you? Like, you don't know a person until you actually get to speak to that person. That's fair. So how do you really decipher, okay, you know what, this person is? It's true that you don't know a person until you know a person. But we're all humans. Okay. And we all, right, wrong, or indifferent, make assumptions based off what is presented to us. Fair, right? We market ourselves on a daily basis. And based off of, like, you shouldn't judge a book by a cover. It could be a terrible cover, but a great book. But if I'm in a bookstore, what am I most likely to pick up? The book that looks interesting. Yeah, and so, to an extent, like, do I enjoy how you're marketing yourself to the point where I'm interested in seeing where this goes? And so now that I'm older, you know, I'm in my 30s now, so I it's not as superficial as maybe it might have been 5-6 years ago, but I try to stay open as far as like looks and stuff, but I still have a type. I still have a, you know what I mean? Like, I don't just go for anything or anybody just because they might be a great guy. Like, if you don't market yourself at least to what seems like it's aligned with my life, then there's nothing to talk about. I feel you. So when did you decide to quote unquote stop dating?
For right now, maybe like a week ago.
A week.
No, seriously.
I feel like it's been longer than that.
No, like, for real, like a week ago, I was on the apps, and like people were messaging me, or like I'd match with somebody and they start a conversation, and I was like, you know what, I don't actually care, and I would just never respond. And then I would feel bad, because I'm like, now I'm wasting your time and blah blah blah, and you might be a really good guy, but I just realized I don't care. I don't care to see where this goes. I don't care to put the energy into this. I don't care when the conversation starts to get boring to try to make it interesting again. I don't have the energy for this right now. So in 3 months from now, that might be different, and I'll give it another go, but right now I don't care.
So, did you like come up with like a 2022 New Year's dating resolution? Like, these are the things I'm going to change when I approach the conversation about dating?
I didn't come up with like a specific, and some people do. Some people, they're very intentional about, this is what I want out of, like, if I'm going to be dating, this is what I want to see. I haven't done that, but I would say that I'm at a point in my life where it needs to be, what are we doing? Like, there needs to be some call to action. And not like it's a business, because things happen naturally, but like, what is the point of you being on my phone all day? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to just text somebody all day. Like, do you want to meet up? Do you want to do something? Like, where is this going? So if anything, it's to date with intention and be very clear about that, and to get better at, if people don't align with that intention, to be okay with letting that go
I feel
and moving on.
So is that like a dating trend, like maybe that you would want to stop? Because I was reading earlier today in an article, and it basically meant that it's sort of like people are what they call what do they call it? It's essentially like they are kind of setting you up to believe that they want a quote unquote, not necessarily a relationship, but making you feel like they want all the things that come with a relationship, but they're just priming you. They're just setting you up just to walk away. So it's like, is that like a trend that you would want to see stop? That's
Now, what if I sat here and was like, no, I think that's a great thing? Of course. Yeah. Like, why would nobody wants to be led on. Like, that's just, nobody wants to be led on, right? I actually had a conversation with this guy. I was at a party, and we were just casually talking. And he was like, yeah, well, if you're on Tinder and you're on Hinge and stuff, like, you're not really serious about dating. What do you mean? He's like, well, people just use that to hook up. But why? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people have these preconceived notions of using like dating platforms, like, oh, I'm just here to hook up and see what happens, and I don't really care, which seems unfair to people who are genuinely trying to make connections, right? Like, you're abusing this app, not me. I came here to actually date. And a lot of men in particular, I'm not saying women don't do this, but men in particular use it more of like a game. Like, I'm not actually interested in dating. I'm just trying to fuck. I'm just trying to hook up. Which, I mean, if that's what you're trying to do, there's places for that. But to be like, oh, dating apps, like if you're using a dating app, you're not that serious anyway. Like, it seems completely unfair. But in reality, what it looks like is these people are logging in and, like you said, making it seem like they're interested in something and then don't want to actually provide that. Then when, then the conversation is, oh yeah, this girl's tripping, blah, blah, blah. Sir, you made it seem like you want to date her. Like, you made it seem like you were interested. And now that she's trying to figure out where the follow-up is, now she's crazy. You know what I mean? So
do you think like the creation of all these apps is really just our basic need for insta love? Like a way to get as much as we can instantly, rather than the going out and meeting someone traditionally?
I think that these apps are created with good intention and people abuse what has been created, right? I think the purpose of Tinder is to make quick connections in ways that before apps or online dating, you may not ever meet somebody, right? Because you just don't know they're there. You're not at the same bar at the same time, right? But you live down the street. I think the intention is to create a platform where people can make quick connections. But the abuse of it is this has turned into, I'm just here to hook up. I'm just here to meet as many people as I can. I'm going to swipe right on literally every profile and see who talks back. And then if I'm like, oh, wait, I don't want to talk to her, then I'm going to, unmatch. That's abuse of a well-intended product, right? And so I don't know why they were created. I would assume it's for good purposes, but I think people and the society we've created has turned it into, everybody wants instant gratification and validation. So
no, it's pretty weird. It's just interesting because it's like I think about all of this, right? These apps, these different, dating tools that people could use to get to a chance to meet each other. But like you said, people only attack it with one set of mindset. So someone like yourself, right, that actually wants to benefit from dating or the proper use of this app, right? Let's say we're gonna put a scenario to this. Let's actually say there's a guy. Okay. You're interested. I don't know whatever drew you to this guy, but you both match and there's a mutual attraction there. Okay. Would you impose like a sexual like time limit? Like a time limit on
what do you mean by that?
So like a 90-day rule or a 30-day rule or a 60-day rule.
Do you mean would I say I'm not going to have sex with you until Well, how do we get? That's the problem. How do we jump to sex? Because we were talking
because
about dating.
all right. So like we said, right? A lot of times these apps, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times these apps are people abuse these apps, right? So
Okay.
they go on there with foul intentions, right?
Mm-hmm.
It may not always be. It may be to meet someone, but it may not be to meet someone today. It could be to meet someone to fuck.
Okay.
Right? Excuse my language. Sorry, I ain't know the parents.
My bad. I thought we.
No, we could. I just be forgetting. Some adults be on here, so I be filtering, but not filtering.
My bad. I won't
But
say that
anyway,
anymore.
so there be apps.
Okay.
There are apps that are out there
Okay.
that people primarily use
Okay.
to hook up with other people.
Correct.
Right. With that being said, you as a user, right?
Mm-hmm.
You meet someone. Mm-hmm. You're genuinely on there to meet new people
Mm-hmm.
and engage in what may lead to a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You've met someone. There's a genuine draw or genuine interest there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Would you impose a 30 to 90 day rule?
Me? No. But I'm not weird about sex. A lot of people are.
Okay. Do you
If
feel
I want to
like
have
that's
sex with you, I'm
important
going to
at
have
all?
sex with you.
Shout out to Tutu Baby. She also agrees with the same sentiment. But I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Like, because some women believe in that.
Some people believe in what you believe in. You know what I mean? Some people value sex differently. I'm not one of those people. But I'll put it like this. In my experience, sometimes it's obvious what you want to do, right? And depending on how I feel about you, if it's a guy that I was genuinely interested in and it's very clear that he only wants one thing, I probably am not going to have sex with you because now we're just having sex. Or I could be like, well, this isn't going to go anywhere. Might as well get something out of it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it could be as easy as that, but like, I think I'll pose this question to myself, I guess. But
You can ask me. It's an open book. It's an open conversation.
I have had people be like, well, I don't even know how to phrase this. I will say, sex is easy. Okay. Having sex with a man, I don't know if you guys know this, men are very easy. Very easy. It does not take much to have sex with a man. It takes almost nothing.
I almost want to believe that.
It's true. You just be like, hey, you want to have sex? And they're like, yeah, sure, let's go do it. It does not take much. If I want to just have sex with you, I could easily do that. And there's no like I could reach out to you today, make sure that you're not a killer, have sex with you tonight, right? But I am a little harder on guys where I want to actually go somewhere because I don't want a relationship that's only
purely based on that.
Based on where the foundation of the relationship is sex, right? So if I'm approaching somebody that I actually am interested in dating and having a relationship with, I might not be as like open to like, you know what I mean? I want to make a point where like I'm not just here for that. So I may like, okay, let's go on a couple of dates first. Let's see where this is going. I'm not gonna wait 30 days.
No, because some women tend to believe that, especially during that. Like, I was on Netflix the other day and I was watching Think Like a Man, and you remember Megan Good's character. That was one of her main things, and I think that in 2022, a lot of women feel that men are purely driven by sex. Like,
are men not purely driven by sex?
I highly doubt that.
Okay, let me ask you this. Are men not giving the impression that they're purely driven by sex? Because you're right. Men are multifaceted individuals. I have strong opinions about men in general. Yeah. They're not good. But
I know. I watch your stories.
But if women have the impression that men are driven by sex, where is that impression coming from? Is it women making that up, or is that how men are marketing themselves?
I think, you know what? That's a very good question. And I feel like I'm about to get myself in trouble, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. So, you know what I feel? I feel that women have over-sexualized themselves. And not all women. Some women. Some women have over-sexualized themselves within the past 5-year period.
Okay.
To the point where it is believed that men are solely driven by that because that it may be is what draws our
women
attention.
over sexualizing themselves is what is creating the belief that men only care about sex.
Yes, because this is what I mean. This is what I mean by that comment, right?
Okay.
This is what I mean by that comment, right? Take any woman for example, right? If a woman was to post herself half nude, right, on an Instagram post, right, more than likely she's gonna have the attention of a man. Well, what did you think that the outcome of that post was gonna be?
Okay, but women can post a picture of their face. Yay, it's just my face, and they still get the same response.
But the approach, I think, is the approach, or what is.
But
you see what I'm saying?
But the thing that remains the same, the common denominator, is that men are going to want sex from you no matter how you present yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
men and women want sex from each other. Is the issue how women are presenting themselves, or is the issue that men are going to have the same reaction, regardless? I'll put it like this. I'm about to embarrass myself.
Hey.
I'm about to embarrass myself.
Let's embarrass each other.
I was on Instagram, as I do. And I had this guy in my inbox. And, like, he was genuinely, like, interacting with me. Like, I would say something, and then he would, like, it wasn't just hard eyes. It was, like, a conversation, right? So we would, like, have a conversation. And I give him my number. And we're having conversations. Now, this is where I fucked up. This was my bad. In retrospect, I can see how maybe I fucked this up. I thought we were creating we were getting to know each other as friends, as people first, right? And so one day, he was like, oh, yeah, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm not doing anything. He was like, oh, yeah, you should invite me over. LOL, that kind of thing. Now, here's the thing. I'm a yes girl, right? Provided I'm not going to get arrested or die, it doesn't take much to get me to be like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, that's how life is interesting, right? So he's like, yeah, you should invite me over. And I was like, okay. Now, I could see in hindsight where maybe I was giving the wrong impression because it was very late. But I really just thought, shit, you're not doing nothing, I'm not doing nothing. We've already have this banter. We never really hung out in person. Let's just get together and, in
a safe space at your home.
Right. I'm thinking we're just...
Post 9 p.m.?
See, but that's the thing. I thought we were just getting together to have a good time. I thought we were just chatting. You know what I mean? Okay. So he comes over. We're kicking it. I mean, we're having just a conversation for like 2 hours, right? I thought it was cool. And he goes, so, do you want to fuck? And I said, what? I said, huh? Like, it completely took me by surprise because this had never gotten sexual. It had never even been like, or at least... let me not say never, but it was heavy flirting, but I didn't think I was like giving off fuck me vibe, like, you know what I mean? And so I said, what? He said, I'm so sorry. He said, I'm so sorry that it wasn't supposed to come out like that. I said, I didn't know what to do, right? The girl was too stunned to speak. So I was just like, no. Here's the thing. I probably would have fucked him if he didn't approach me like that. But still, I said, what? And so he ended up leaving. It was just a very awkward. Now, I'm 30 years old, okay? This happened within the last year. I'm 30 years old. I reached out to him the next day because I was interested in him as a person. Like, it wasn't just a sexual thing. And so I reached out to him the next day and I said, listen, I'm really sorry. In hindsight, I could see that maybe I had the wrong impression because it was very late. It was, scary hours. My bad. I said, I do like you. And maybe, next time we should get together before the sun goes down. And just, hang out then. Like, I was like, I'm sorry. I get it. Our wires were crossed. And he was like, oh, no, it's cool. I'm not really looking to date right now. Never talk to me again. I said, what? But that's what I mean, right? This is what I mean by it doesn't matter how you're presenting yourself. Because this wasn't like he was hitting me up on Instagram every time I had my ass out, because I don't do that. But I thought we were genuinely just two people getting to know each other. And then that happened. So I'm like, in my mind, it's not a matter of how women are presenting themselves because the reaction is the same. The reaction is consistently, no, I'm just trying to fuck. Okay, my bad. So where are people who want to actually date? You know what I mean? Because again, I get on dating apps I'm a regular person, just pictures of myself and, you know, witty quotes. But it's the same. I'm not going to say every single time because that's not true. But more often than not, I'm being approached as, I'm just trying to fuck. Like, I'm going through the motions and pretending to care. But at the end of the day, I came here for one thing. And so for me, when you say people are under the impression that men just want to have sex because women are sexualizing themselves, no. People are under the impression that men want to have sex because men constantly just want to have sex.
Okay, fair. That's, you know what? I want to attack that. I'm saving that conversation for another couch talk later on because that is something I did want to attack. And I have my own thoughts and sentiments. I don't want to go. I don't want to divvy away from the topic, but partially agree. I thought to myself the other day, you know what? Low key. We as niggas,
men
we be doing ourselves dirty.
Terrible at marketing themselves.
We be doing ourselves dirty.
No, for real. Like, men do the bare minimum. You've never been on a dating app, but let me explain how it works. Just be like, an app will be like, yeah, you need at least 6 pictures. Niggas will be like, oh, I'm signing up for the app right now. I need a picture. Boom. Take the first picture they'll take. Post it. Nigga, you know you didn't look good. You know you didn't look good. Now I need 6 pictures. You got 3 pictures of yourself in the mirror and then 2 memes and like a picture of your niece. What? Like, you're terrible at marketing yourself. But I'm the bad guy because I'm not interested? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. I feel like you guys, instead of being like, alpha male this, blah, 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 gold diggers, y'all need to get together. Maybe a quick little conference, maybe like a week. Get together and get your shit together. Like, y'all are awful. And if it wasn't for my biological instinct to be attracted to males, you wouldn't have a chance.
I've seen your Instagram story.
If I could be a lesbian, I would. Sexuality is not a choice. Because I damn sure would not choose to be attracted to men.
Oh, yeah, that actually, yeah, shout out to Labris. We definitely had that conversation about sexuality is not a choice.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not saying anything new, okay?
I feel it. Let me ask you a question. Okay, so have you been on any bad dating, like, after you've met someone on the dating app, have you been on a bad date?
Of course.
What have been some of your experiences?
My last relationship was in 2016, so of course I've been on bad dates. They don't go anywhere. I have a couple rules about dating, especially online dating. If I meet you on the internet, my very first rule, low stakes first date. Coffee or apps, that's it. Let's meet up for something very simple. Okay. Because you might be cool to talk to online, does not mean we're gonna vibe in person.
So like a walk or some coffee
a
museum.
Walk. You want me to exercise? No, nigga. I want to go
Taylor?
I just said coffee or apps. Do you want to get coffee or do you want to meet at a restaurant?
What if I don't like coffee?
Then take the apps option. What are you talking about? You don't like food?
Oh, coffee or like appetizers.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
What if I don't like coffee? If you don't like coffee, get some tea, get some water. What? That's the thing. What if you don't like coffee? Nigga, get something else. Get a pastry. Just show up. What do you mean? The point is, it's a low stakes date, right? Because
do you have like a time limit on how long those dates are?
Well, that's the thing.
Okay.
If the reason I like low stakes dates, if we get there and I'm like, oh, this is not what I thought it was, no thank you, then I'll give you about 30 minutes and be like, all right, well, this is fun, bye, and I'll go home. But if we vibe in person, you know, anything could happen. Hey, you want to go do this afterwards? Yeah, not sex, but like, you want to go do something else? Yeah, sure. If I like you, it's at least establishing what our connection is in person, right? And the reason I came up with this rule is because my very first time meeting somebody online, we had talked for like 2 weeks, and it was great. Like, we talked on the phone, we texted. I was like, oh my God, this guy's so nice, blah, blah, blah. So when we went on a date, we decided to meet for dinner, and then we were gonna go to a pop-up bar in DC. So fun, right? Oh my God, this is great. So I meet him for the very first time in person at the restaurant. Like, we're doing a full sit-down meal, right? About 30 minutes into that, I said, oh, no, thank you. This is not, like, I don't like this guy, right? But we are committed to do dinner, and then we're going somewhere else. I was probably out with this guy for like 3 hours, and the whole time I was just like, no, thank you. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to be here. I don't like this guy. And he was nice, except for the part where, like, so I had Ubered there because I was living in Northern Virginia at the time, and we met in D.C. So I had Ubered there. And then he drove us to the next place, which also kind of dangerous. Like, you could be a killer. I don't even know. But we get to the next place. Like, as we're driving, he takes out those, like, flosser placker things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the green little...
Nick starts picking his teeth while he's driving. Talking about something. You want one? No. I'm like, what? I was disgusted. Okay. I was disgusted. And so after that, that's why my very, like... low-key, drive yourself there, see if you even vibe in person, like, yeah. And then other bad dates, after that was probably like the worst one. Other than that, it's just been more awkward than anything else because
I don't know each other.
Yeah. Or not that we don't know each other, but like when I get there, I realize I don't want to do this.
So you be having like 3-round interviews before everything.
So for me, it looks like if I match with you on an app, my biggest thing is corny, but my biggest thing is vibes. Like, I legitimately do we vibe. Like, it's very important to me that it just feels like a natural thing. I can naturally want to talk to you. So my first thing, like, I get on an app, I match with a guy. Can we hold a conversation? That's number one. If anybody wants to immediately be like, let's get together in person. No, thank you. Because now it's a little sketchy to me that you don't even want to get to know me before you want to meet in person. To me, it's giving off like I only am here for one thing. So anybody who's too eager to meet up immediately before you even have a conversation with me, no, thank you. It's not going to happen. Once we establish a conversation on the app, then I'll give you my number. We'll do that for a little bit longer. Not too long. Like, if we need to meet within 2 weeks. So we'll talk a little bit on the app, talk on the phone, and then I will be like, okay, I like engaging with you. I like your conversation. Let's meet in person. Low stakes date. If we vibe after that, then the sky's the limits. Then, like, let's do whatever. But yeah, I don't get past that part.
So the other thing that I have a hard time with women with, right, when it comes to dating, right, when they say, you know, like I follow a lot of women on Instagram. They'll be like, you know, I just don't have any guys just interested in me, or I'm not dating anybody. But I'm like, you have a DM full of male suitors at any point in time just willing to get with you. So? How do you decipher through that to where they're now quote unquote an option? Because
again, men are terrible at marketing themselves.
Okay.
Y'all be talking about nothing.
So what one? I think I've had certain conversations, but for you specifically, like, one, what's the approach to Taylour, right? And then secondly, right, once I've gotten the approach down, how do I market myself?
Well, first of all, do I like you? You like me? That's great. But am I interested in you? Mm-hmm. And sometimes the answer is no. People need to be okay with that. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I don't like what I see. Is it mean? Is it harsh? Maybe. But people feel that way about me. It is what it is. So yeah, I could have a DM full of niggas that I am not interested in. Okay, I just don't like you. So, okay. But secondly...
Damn, that hurts my feelings.
It is what it is. But beyond that, I will say, then it's just like, give me something to talk about. That my biggest thing, and probably I think other people would agree with me, don't just be like, hey, what's up, beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Oh, my God, you're so gorgeous. People who, oh, my God, your look, like, that's all they talk about. Do you even know me? Do you even, like, are you even paying attention?
But that's the whole point. That's why I'm DMing.
Okay, that's fine. But beyond that, are we going to be in a relationship just because I look good?
I could say we are, but how do you believe me? Because
what I'm saying is, if all you do is, if all the messaging ever is to me is, hey, beautiful, oh my God, you're so pretty, oh my God, hard eyes, this, that, that's great. Clearly you're interested in me. Mm-hmm. But interested in what? What about me do you like besides how my face looks? You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, people who stand out, even people that maybe I wouldn't typically be interested in, talk about something specific. Like, you're reacting to an Instagram story. What about it was funny? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you have in common? Like, where can we, because things like simple things. Actually, I was on a dating app and this guy matched with me and he was like, are you European? Because I've never seen anybody spell their name like that. That alone, now I wasn't really that interested in how he looked. Sorry to that man. But that alone give me something to talk about. You know what I mean? But all niggas, it's like, I don't know if you guys handed out a playbook or like a piece of paper and all it said was, tell her, hey queen, tell her, hey beautiful. Let me be the first person to say, this doesn't work. Stop that. Stop that right now. It's a terrible approach. Unless you got it like that. Now, if a fine man was like, hey beautiful, I'd be like, what's up, babe? I'd be like, hello, what do you need? Y'all niggas don't be fine like that. And I'm not saying that I'm the most beautiful person in the world. I'm realistic. But you guys are regular ass niggas. Have something more than just the basic hi, how, like, what you doing? You know what I mean? So, yeah.
No, I feel you. Yeah, bro. I'm dead. I'm dead.
That's another thing. I'm sorry. A lot of you guys, I respect the confidence. I really do. But a lot of you niggas overestimate who you are. There's a lot of confidence, and I don't get it.
No. I think it's okay to have a little bit of. All right, so
it's okay to have confidence, but
no, but that's what I'm saying. If I'm coming to you and I'm confident, if I'm that confident in myself, right, and I feel like I can back it up, right. If I'm approaching you and I'm being like, look, Shorty, this is what I have to offer, or this is, at least trying to strike up a conversation so that you can at least show your level. I think that's what it is.
That's fair, but a lot of y'all lean on your looks, and your looks do not be there.
I think. So what else am I supposed to be? Am I supposed to flaunt money and be like, hey,
do you not have a personality? Because this is a great point.
Okay.
What else am I supposed to lead with?
Okay.
Who are you?
But you follow me on Instagram, so you know my personality.
I follow you on Instagram because we went to college together.
Not me.
Oh, my bad. Me. But I'm saying, I follow you. I might follow you on Instagram because you a friend of a friend. I might follow you on Instagram because we know each other from this place.
Right.
But when you say, a lot of these niggas are like, I'm the shit. Because I feel like I'm the shit. And good for you. I'm glad your confidence is good. Right. But the reality is, only you and your mother think that. Only you and your mother think that you're the shit, which is fine. So when you come to me,
Taylour, you know I'm gonna have you back on another podcast, right?
Of course.
Okay, sure. But so beyond that, because you immediately said, "What am I supposed to leave? My money?" No. Who are you? What do you have to offer? What do you have to talk about? Because if the purpose of you hitting me up is one of two things: one, because you want to have sex with me, in which case we already talked about that. Boo, it's boring. I'm bored by that. All right.
Or two, you're legitimately interested in trying to make me your person. So if that's the case, what does a relationship with me look like? What are we going to talk about? What are we going to do together? Lead with that.
But okay, because this is what I'm hearing, right, Taylour? Like this is what I hear when you say that, right? It's kind of like this. You as a young woman, any young woman and out here, not specifically just you, any black young woman, right? There you have your pick of the litter, right?
You think so?
I
don't think that.
The only reason why I believe that is because, quote unquote, there's a bunch of quote unquote guys that's in your DMs and you have to decipher.
First of all, you said it.
That's me. No,
because who are these men?
No. This is me. This is me, right? This is me thinking on the outside, right? I'm not in your DMs
I don't know why
to really
y'all think
know.
That.
My personal opinion.
Okay.
My personal opinion, I feel every woman, no matter who you are, every woman has at least 5 guys. Well, at least 5 in their DMs.
The fact that you think that, I don't know where that's coming from.
But that's just me.
Taylour doesn't have 5 guys in my DMs.
Anyway, the point that I'm making is right with these 5 guys right in your DMs, right? Those 5 guys not are all worth your time. I agree with that with that sentiment, right? You have the guy that's gonna want to just purely smash you. Yep. You have the guy that's genuinely interested in you. There's the guy that thinks you're attractive but doesn't really know. I don't really know. There's the guy that's been liking you forever, and he's just not in a position to offer anything to you. Okay,
I don't know why he's in somebody's DMs. He got a lot of work to do.
Hey, man. It's a hope and a wish.
Okay.
And then there's that random guy, right, that you genuinely like.
But I want you to know that I don't know where you're getting that from, but go continue.
Okay. So with these 5 different guys that you have, with these 5 different guys, right, you have to now decipher, okay, who out of these 5, who's worth my time? Okay, right? That's when I say, like, it's up to you. All 5 of those guys could be shooting their shot, but none of them could get play, right? But here comes the guy that you find tall, attractive, is your complexion, has the quote unquote job, but he doesn't find you attractive. That's the guy you're willing to give attention to, but you're not going to pay attention to these guys that's in your DMs.
This is so interesting because I know you're not the only man who thinks like this. But you have created this entire world that is just not.
It's not me creating. This is a reality.
Hold on.
This happens.
I don't know about other women. I can't speak about them. They're not here. Okay.
This is a discussion. This is why I said we gotta have more than one.
I operate in reality, and I know I'm a bad bitch, but I'm not the baddest. Okay. I'm very realistic about what I look like. I'm as realistic as possible, right?
Okay.
When you say I'm gonna go after the man who I like, that's not true. Cause I'm not dumb like a lot of these niggas. There are beautiful men out there. Oh my God, I would love to be with you. You're gorgeous. At least, but here's the thing. One, all I see is your face. You look good, but I don't know shit about you. Or I do know shit about you, and you're actually quite boring. Okay? Or there's men that I'm like, oh my God, you're gorgeous. You live this kind of life. I would love to live it too, but I know enough about me to know that I don't live that life. I'm not going after these men. I'm not chasing these men and then, like, this is not... You know those memes where it's like she's looking at the guy and he's looking at you, and no, I'm not stupid. I'm not spending my time on men I can't get with. So that right there, it's not true.
So how do you find common ground? That's really the question.
Okay, so then if you were worried about these 5 men in my DMs,
I'm not worried.
What if I'm worried about them? Okay. Again, that's not true. That's not a thing. But let's just say hypothetically there were multiple men in my DMs. The way I'm going to pick who I'm going to entertain is a combination of a couple of things. One, how do I know you? Okay? Because if you're just a random nigga on the internet, lower chances I'm going to prioritize you. If you're somebody I have a connection with in real life, you know. 2, how are you presenting yourself? What is your life like, right? What do I see? If I go on your Instagram and all there are memes, that's weird. I'm not gonna give you any play.
That's my personality. I'm funny.
That's your personality.
That's my personality.
And it doesn't align with mine. And that has to be okay.
Taylor funny doesn't match with your personality, Taylor?
Not that brand of humor.
Taylor?
I'm trying to tell you. Listen, you asked, I'm answering. I'm trying to tell you. If that's all you're presenting to me, that's all I have to go off of, no thank you. Like, no. Like, what? That's fucking weird to me. There's a girl out there who loves that shit. Go find her. It's not me. Okay? But if you're a nigga who's staying in the clubs all weekend, that doesn't align with me. You know what I mean? Again, there's women who love that shit. Go find them. But for me, if it's a matter of I have options, I'm going to look at how you're presenting yourself, and I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to make an educated guess. Because you're right. I still don't know you at this point. I just know what I see. Then, what's your face look like again? Because again, like, let's be honest. Like, am I even remotely interested in you? But then above everything else, at least for me, and I'm not speaking for every woman, at least for me, I love talking. I love having conversations. My priority, the thing that has me having my friends be like, why the fuck are you talking to that man? Because I'm like, you guys know, really, when we're alone, I love talking to him. Like, we have great conversations. And all my friends are like, that nigga is ugly. You guys don't understand. We're together. You know, that to me, like, have something to talk about. A lot of these niggas come to the table with nothing. You're not interesting. Okay. You're not interesting. Like you said it yourself, I have a large personality, right? So why would I be with a boring ass nigga? It doesn't make sense.
This table. This table.
I'm just saying.
This table, right? You brought it up, not me. This table. When it comes to this table, right? What are we in 2022?
Who said table?
You said table.
When did I say table? I don't remember saying that. Run the tape back. But go ahead.
This table. Okay. What is it? I like how I rephrase the table question is, if we're alone on an island, just you and not you and I, but me and male species.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you expecting for him to provide at this island?
I'm expecting him to get us the fuck off the island. Because what? Why the fuck are we on an island? But go ahead.
What is your role on this island, and what would you expect?
What's my role?
What's your role on this island?
I'm balling up in a corner crying. I'm throwing up. Why the fuck are we on an island? For real. Like, me, I know myself. Like, my role is...
So you're just going to cry on the island and expect for him to do everything on this island?
Hell no. You might be crying with me. I don't know. But okay, let's just assume we're past the point of freaking out that we're stuck on an island. What do I expect from a man? I don't know.
Because this is what you're looking for.
I look for individuals. So I make, again, you have to make some educated guesses on who you're dealing with based off how they're presenting themselves. That's a fact. I can't entertain every person I can't seriously entertain every person that has ever expressed interest in me. Fair. So I have to make some educated decisions based off of how you're presenting yourself and if I think it aligns with my life. But me personally, then let's have a conversation, and then I want to know you as an individual. And you know what I mean? Like, and then it just go from there. But I don't have like a outline of like must do X, Y, Z to get with me. Like, that's not how I operate. A lot of women do. A lot of men do. That's not how my mind works.
Take all of that into consideration, right? We've considered this. We're still on an island, Taylor.
Yeah.
We're still on an island.
You don't want to be with me stuck on an island. I can tell you that right now.
So I can't be like, you know what, Taylor? How about you fish for today, and I'll go get our natural resources.
I mean, again, have you ever seen me fish? If you trust that I can do it, sure. Seems dumb, but okay.
This table/island is looking real.
I'll put it like this. Let's remove ourselves from the island because it's not realistic. If you're saying, can I provide? Is that what you're getting at?
It's not about providing. This is the island, right? It's
no. We're off the island. Fuck that.
Okay, we're off the island.
Let's talk in real terms. So
it's just you and I, right?
It's you and I in a relationship,
right?
And you're asking, what
can you do that's going to make such a significant change in my life?
Nothing. Because I shouldn't be up to me to make a significant change in your life.
Okay,
that's number one.
But I'm looking. But okay, so what do you define as the point of a relationship then, from your point of view?
For me,
yes.
And this is very much me because I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me. I am very much looking for a partner in life.
What does that look like?
It looks like, let's look at us as a unit and let's look at our personal strengths and weaknesses and let's figure out what works for us. And that might look like if we break up and I get with the next man, that might look different because of our individual strengths and weaknesses. I hate cooking. If I never had to watch a dish in my life, I'd be the happiest woman on the planet. So if I get with you and you are fucking love, like, I love making recipes and blah, I'm willing. If you can do cooking, let me do cleaning. If you hate cooking too, I can make us some food so we can survive and you pick up the dishes or whatever. Again, to me, it's about what kind of life are you trying to lead and does it align with me? I want a life. I don't see myself with a man who is super who is like, I want to be the richest person. I want to be a millionaire by 30. That does not align with my life, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it makes a guy a bad person. I'm not saying it makes a guy not interesting to the next woman. I know it doesn't fit with me, right? A man who's constantly like, how are we working? I'm a very laid back individual. The last thing I want to hear on Saturday is, what are we doing for the side hustle? Please, I'm trying to relax. You know what I'm saying? And that's what works for me. So again, like, are we on the path to live a similar life? And if we are, let's come together and think about what we, both bring to the table. Oh, I hate that. What do we both contribute? What do we both, where are our strengths and weaknesses, and then figure out what works for us. But this whole idea of having this predetermined template and people getting in where they fit in, it's just not realistic to me.
Yo, Taylour has said a lot. In the way I'm looking, I don't know where we at with time, but let me talk to my producer. Yo, producer, you think we can do a part 2 to this?
Yeah, we can do a part 2.
All right, we can do a part 2.
So you're not bringing no cigar and a cigar cutter to the first date?
I wasn't really paying attention to that discourse that day. I saw the TikTok where the girl was like, yeah, he said he likes cigars, so I brought him a cigar. I don't see a problem with that. I don't see a problem with that. Now, me, the first date, we never linked before. No, again, because low stakes, sir. I don't know you. I'm not. That doesn't mean the next date. I'm a very, like, when you got me, I'm very like, oh my God, what do you want? Like, once we've established that, like, I like you.
So you want first impression, but you're not bringing it. You're just showing up.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm just, the first date, yeah, I'm just showing up.
Okay. A lot of guys tend to ask, not a lot of guys, a lot of people tend to say that men know who or what they want within the first 6 months of dating. How long do you think it takes for a woman to know what she wants or what she wants out of that relationship with a guy?
I think that most people know what they want immediately, but most people aren't honest with themselves, including me. Most people can know, like, this is or isn't going to work, but because he's nice to me, he, like, it's fun. Like, maybe we're not going to be in a relationship, but it's fun when we hang out. And I think things last a lot longer than they should. But I don't think you can put a time limit on it. But I think most people not immediately, but within a short time frame can know whether or not if this is the person they want to be with. I don't think a lot of people, men and women, are honest with themselves. Because if you are with somebody and you're like, you're a really nice guy and like you're a good person, but you're just not for me, it's hard to say that. It's hard to be honest about that because you have people looking at you like, but he didn't do anything wrong. He's like, he's not a bad guy. Like, what is it that you don't like? And because of that guilt, you're like, okay, you're right. Like, let's try to make this work. But the truth of the matter is, we both know if this is a thing that can work. And I'm not saying people need to show up 100% ready in a relationship. Everything requires work. You're never going to meet the perfect person, but you can tell off rip, like, you're a nice guy, but your life doesn't align with mine. Your vision for yourself doesn't align with my vision for myself. But people stay long past relationships that are expired because there's no logical reason not to be together, in my opinion.
Wow. Yo, this is Miss Taylour D. She's kicking it with us here on the table. I know this is supposed to be the couch talk, but this is the table talk edition with Taylour D. Yo, this has been part 1 of Dating 2022. Hold
on, y'all said you could do a part 2.
We just wrapping up part 1 because we got to make sure that people know.
Okay.
This might be a long-winded video, but we want to make sure that there's more to come. There's more conversation. Okay. Definitely tune in for part 2. We about to wrap up. I
don't know. I might be on a date.
I don't know what you got to do, but we signed you up for a time, man.
Okay, all right.
So, yo, this has been the Couch Talk Table Talk edition with Miss Taylour D. Make sure you tune in. Yo, visit www.sitmpodcast.com to shop your exclusive merch. This is our 5-year anniversary. So, all the entertainers, all the guests that we've had on the past, on the desk, on the artist spotlight, on the Couch Talk, yo, make sure you stay tuned for all the details coming about our 5-year anniversary. Yo, this has been the Couch Talk. Peace.
It's Liquid Mix.